Hi, I'm Betty Capistani, President and CEO of the Bellevue Chamber, and today we're having Betty's Bench, and our special guest today is Dave Masin.
Hello.
And Dave is past chair of the Bellevue Chamber, and he's been a fourth generation family business owner and just so involved in Bellevue. And so I want to start with what's it like to be in a family-owned business, 4 generations?
Yeah, well, first, thank you for having me be your first guest on Betty's Bench. I'm very honored.
And where did I get
here.
this bench?
It's a very fancy furniture store.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Check them out.
But being a family-owned fourth generation furniture business is pretty unique in that, it's hard to transcend the generations, but it's really cool to be in the middle of downtown Bellevue where our business is, and having the opportunity to mix with these really high-tech companies and being an old stodgy old brick and mortar business like ours. It's cool to see these types of businesses exist and coexist in the city of Bellevue, and that's to me what kind of makes Bellevue unique.
Well, I know your great-grandpa actually started the company that you're with.
Yep.
And he kind of came up with it being really creative as an immigrant to this country, seeing an idea and opportunity, and it really morphed through 4 generations. What are some of the things that you learned from that, and also maybe how that maybe trends into our marketplace today?
Well, it's interesting you say that because he founded the company in 1927, and in 1927, times were a lot different than they are now. Obviously, there's a lot more technology these days, but it relates in a way that's very similar in that it started with an idea. He found that he loved repairing furniture that had fallen from trains, and had an opportunity to purchase an entire train car full of furniture that was damaged. And while risky and it was going to cost him a lot of money, he still decided to kind of proceed with it, buy the train car, repair all the furniture, and start his company. And that really is no different in terms of innovation than a lot of the companies in Bellevue who have a great idea, they have a passion, and they want to share it with everybody else. And so while his concept and his innovation came 89 years ago, it's no different than someone starting a startup business in Bellevue these days.
And then how did you, I know your family first started in Seattle, how did you come to Bellevue, and how do you also live in Bellevue, which is really cool.
Yep.
So how did you guys pick Bellevue?
Yeah, so living and working in Bellevue, I'm so lucky because we bought our house about 15 years ago and opened our store. We've had a furniture store in Bellevue for almost 40 years. And we've seen the changes at Bellevue and that have happened in Bellevue, and it's grown exponentially. House prices have gone up, the population has just grown immensely, and it's just a great place to be kind of in the center of, and we're very fortunate to be a part of the community.
So we've been really fortunate because as a business leader, you've engaged with the Chamber. From your perspective, what value does that bring to a business, and what value have you gotten out of the Chamber?
So it's a really good question. I think one of the best things you can get from the Chamber is the connections. And a lot of people don't understand how much change the Bellevue Chamber affects. We're very active in government affairs, in transportation issues, in getting people leases, and getting them to know the C-suite type of people in Bellevue. The Bellevue Chamber is kind of a silent assassin when it comes to those things, and really is effective in getting a lot of different things done. And really, we don't pat ourselves on the back too often for these things that we do. And I'm proud to say that I was able to be the chairman of the Bellevue Chamber for a year, and boy, that went by fast. But I will tell you that the Bellevue Chamber affects changes in ways that no one else can. And it's a super important organization to be a part of.
What words of advice would you give to the next generation of Bellevue to kind of keep passing that legacy? So if you're going to pass it to a 5th generation, what words of advice would you give them about community building?
Yeah, community building, I think relationships are important. And in this day and age with technology, and it's surrounding us all, with people using phones and texts and computers and all of those things, I think it's critically important to not forget the power of a handshake and the importance of interpersonal communication. And you have to have the ability to speak to people and the ability to relate to people. And if you don't, then I don't think you're going to be very successful. It's very important that you maintain that one-on-one relationship. And if you don't, then I think people will tend to overlook you. And you can really differentiate yourself by having kind of those skills. And a lot of people are born with it, a lot of people just learn it, but I think that it's very important to possess those skills.
So for those of you watching in on our presentation, you may not know, Dave is probably one of the few people that instantly answers his text. But he also has that firm handshake, greeting people, connecting with people. So you really are multifaceted.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping the next generation of business leaders pick right up where you're at
Yeah,
and engage in the community. But it's been a pleasure having you on Benny's Bench.
Well, it's a pleasure being here. It's such a comfortable bench too.
I think I'm gonna take it home.
I think you should. Yeah.